Hey, welcome.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Oh, yeah. It's my pleasure that you came here to talk about endless summer and choices. It's really glad you did. And yeah.
Thank you. It's actually my first time to do such things as this, so please bear with me.
Oh, yeah. No, you'd be fine. It's just, yeah. Like, it's just don't, it's just not an interview. Just, just imagine like the two friends are talking over tea about choices, and you already love endless summer. So you'll be good. I know
Yeah,
that.
it's actually exciting to do this because I don't have anyone here in my family or friends who play choices, unless except my sister. I made her read Endless Summer book 1 and 2. She's on the third book now, but I can't talk to her about it that much because she doesn't finish. She's not finished reading the book yet.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Same for me. I didn't have someone to talk about it because no one really plays in my family either, or my friends. But yeah, so it's good to talk with people and Instagram and other places to talk about choices, what they think about the books. Yeah.
Yes. What's your book? What's your favorite book in choices?
Yes. So, because I first started playing High School Story, that's why I would say High School Story is my favorite book because I started with choices with this book, and when I was reading this, because before that I didn't know anything can be there. The music, the story plot, the characters, it just swept me away, and that story kept me in choices, and I'm still here reading through the stories, and so. H's is the first one.
I've been seeing that book, but I actually don't have like I don't know the motive to try it out. But since you mentioned it, I might try it.
Yeah, I know. Like there are lots of books, so it's kind of hard. Like when you come late to choices and you have lots of books to read, because when I came, a lot of books were already released. So yeah, it's kind of hard. But yeah, with time, you will definitely read it, and specifically with the book that has like three, series and three sequels. So it's kind of yeah, like you said, oh, wow, three books. You kind of get demotivated.
Yeah, but that actually depends on the story.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. If the story is interesting, you can go on. Yeah.
That's why I fell in love with Endless Summer because it's not like any typical stories that you can read, and all the books are nice. All the three books, and they're like very well written for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. It's Endless Summer is one of a kind, and it's definitely a different kind of book that was there. And I'm glad Choices worked with this, and it definitely is going to be, one of the special books in Choices.
I agree.
So
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, go on.
Well, actually, it's the third book that I've read. The first one is Freshman, and then the
Mhm.
second one is Bloodbound. So the moment I started reading Endless Summer, I instantly fell in love with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. It's kind of different. I mean, Freshman is interesting. Blood Bond is also interesting, but with this, it has something that would attract anybody. The way it's written and what the plot it has, and yeah.
Yes.
So, how did you get into choices? I mean, like, did you see it somewhere? Like, how, when, and how you started playing choices?
I started playing 3 years ago in 2018. I knew about choices with the ads on social media. It just pops up anywhere. So I decided to give it a try, and then yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, and your first story was Freshman, right?
Yes, I haven't finished senior yet, and I
Yeah.
don't think I have plans on finishing it. I don't know why. Probably because typical high school romance story kind of bores me.
Yeah. But with all seriousness, like Freshman is a really big series. It has lots of main books, then side stories. It's just like a huge thing. So yeah, it
Yeah.
will take a long.
Hmm. I agree.
That's good. Yeah. So when like I said, my first book was a high school story. It had only three books, so it took me like 15 days or something to go through it, and then. And I think I played America's Most Eligible, and then slowly I started playing other books, and finally also I read Endless Summer, one of the best books I read in choices. Yeah.
What's your top three favorite books?
Top three, I would say Endless Summer, then High School Story, of course, and America's Most Eligible. These three books are my top favorite books because all of them are trilogies. They have three books, so that's always the best. And, America's Most Eligible, the plot that is really awesome there. Same with High School Story. And, like, in Endless Summer also, the way it's written, in terms of mystery, adventure, all the things it has. It's just an awesome book.
Yes, and even comedy. I mean, Jake and Diego is funny. They're funny.
Yeah, Craig.
Yes, and Zara, even though she's a bit of, like she lacks kind of emotion sometimes, but deep down we know that she has
Yeah,
those.
yeah, like her dry humor.
Yes,
Yeah,
and sometimes Raj.
yeah. He is fun guy, and also Alistair. I think he also sometimes he uses some like they start arguing about something before the in the first book when half of the group they're arguing. Sean was saying, "Hey, let's get out of here, get out of Celestial, and let's find a way back home." And Jake was saying, "No, let's stay here and enjoy." So they were divided, and then they were arguing, and Alistair says, "Oh, look, I don't like to fight with common denominator, lowest common denominator." So that was like, he like brings the math into five, and Craig says, "What's up, bro? I don't like math. I don't understand."
I agree. Alistair is also funny sometimes, but most of the times, he's serious and very protective of Grace.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, but overall, it's good. Yeah. So, let's start it. So, I would like to know when you first started playing this Endless Summer, what was your initial thought? Because if you notice, this book's artwork, like how the
Yeah.
characters are designed, it's different than other books and choices. So, how did you feel about that at first?
Yes, exactly. Like the first time I played it, I'm like shocked because the animation is different than other books, but I still gave it a go. I don't know why. Probably it intrigued me very much to the point that I continued reading the book throughout. I discovered End the Summer by just browsing some books that actually, my I find interesting, and then yeah, I started playing it, and then ever since I finished all three books, I reread them again, starting from book one. I've tried every possibilities ending on book three.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only book where even if you use all the diamonds in one chapter, you cannot collect all the clues. So you need to play a chapter again. So this was a really, interactive book where you really need to, get involved. You can just tap through your phone and just read it, but you need to get involved with them. So that's what I liked about the book.
Yeah, and they have this time loops, or when you try to pick the wrong choice, you start over again. So that's kind of stressful. At the same time, it's fun because your patience really gets tested.
Yeah, because I think that was really inclusive in book three. When we see this or book two, I think in this time loop we get stuck, and then we need to do break the time loop in order to break a stone. So we need to, and we're not given any clues, but we get these different choices, and with Zara's help, we get the ball, and then with that crystal or ball, I think crystal, then with another option, we get to put that crystal into Alistair's bag, and then with the help of Craig, we get to drop a tree or something on the his bag, and then the crystal gets broken. So I needed to play that 10 to 12 times to get that right. So it was super awesome.
But it's actually nice. But once you tried so much, they actually give you hint. Like their faces. They frown. So that's a big hint or clue. Actually, that chapter is my one of my least favorite from book two because it's just really stressful. It takes me like a lot of minutes to finally figure everything out.
Yeah. I mean, if this book we had played this book when it was coming out, like one chapter each week, then I would say this was really worth it because it's not like you just are done with this chapter or once you play it, but you can play it a lot of times to get all the clues,
Yeah.
or to like finally go through it. So yeah, I can just only imagine people who played it at that time, they were really satisfied.
For me, I played the book already after it's fully released. So that's a bit hard because every chapter is just so good that I'm not a VIP member, so I have to wait at least 6 hours to complete all my two keys.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and that happened to me with other stories I played when I first came into choices, and also key is one thing, and then diamonds because if you're not a VIP member, and also these days we have way more in opportunities to get diamonds
Yes.
because they have tasks and complete one book, get 15 diamonds. But in 2018, 19, and 20 even, we didn't have much options. Limited diamonds,
I
watch
agree.
ads here for diamonds. So it was really hard to get diamond scenes too.
Yeah, so that's a good job for Pixelberry. I think it helps a lot of players to earn diamonds so that they can purchase it, on books that they want.
Mm. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. So endless summer with this, there's also one thing I would like to bring that we see. I'm saying that this book is different than any other book. But also, in the new books we see, in those books we don't see that much a broader friend group like we see in sorry, Endless Summer, because mainly we see a group of allies and that's it. But other than Li, like Jake, Estilla, Queen, and Sean, we have friends, and their storylines are very well mentioned, and they have a very important role to play. So it was a really special thing.
True. And the fact that Pixelberry gave everyone, like the idols and the embers of hope, so that gives the readers or the players much more information about the backstory of each characters.
Mm. Yeah, I totally agree. That thing, yeah, the items we get to collect, and I think it shows us how each of them, what their past was, and then how they die. That's what it showed.
Yes, and even the other characters aside besides from the 12 catalyst like Rourke, Lundgren, and then the other characters as well. They have like these backstories about their life that we get to know due to like Jake and Alistair. So that's
Yeah,
really nice.
yeah. So they have also a very interesting theme, part to play. Um, Yeah, so but coming to that, but before quickly, I would like to say, like, what happened in book one, it was we are almost like trapped in this island. We're getting to know our friends and we're uncovering the mysteries. Then we think we get this tiger and other mysteries we're seeing, and we were suddenly realizing that something is not right with this island. And then throughout the incident of book one, we just try to get out of this island, and we see someone is just. Stopping us from moving out of here. And finally, we find out those Vanti, Varin there. We didn't know their name, but we knew we had a mental connection with each other. We could talk in each other's mind. But we thought maybe they were our enemy, and the whole book one ended fighting with them and finally escaping from them through the time portal and leaving Diago behind, and without Dimension also leaving Grace and Raj behind, and with Dimension you get to pick them. So how did you feel about that? Book one, because I didn't know. I thought maybe Varian could be our ally, but the way we're fighting, I was like, wow. So they're enemies, right? So
Yeah.
how did you feel?
Well, in book one, I really thought that the Vanties are enemies, unless and then there comes book two. So I thought that it's not only Rourke that are fighting against, and I actually the first time like my character or Taylor met Varian, I felt like that they could be allies. In book one before book two. So, but ever since Craig and then the other characters came to rescue them, they started fighting the other Vanties. So that scene kind of um, disappointed me in a way that that's just I don't know the exact word, but I just have this feeling of disappointment because that's a very powerful allies that we can befriend in order to fight against Rourke in book one, and without knowing that they will be allies in book two.
Yeah, exactly. That was that. And in book two, I think when we finally see Diago in that cave, and we try to attack Varian, but we finally see Diago worried about him, and then we learn that the catalyst thing and how Varian hasn't harmed Diago, and then finally they become our ally. Sorry, ally, and then also Diago and that was awesome.
Yeah, and I want to ask, did you save Grace or Raj?
Yeah, I did save Grace and Raj because it said that it's going to have some long term effect on your friend, the relationship with your friends, depending on whether you save them or not.
True.
When I started book two, then I actually didn't save them. So I started from, but that didn't affect the relationship. I think Raj and Grace, they behaved normally how they behave to our main character.
Yeah.
Just relationship goals now.
Yeah, I didn't get to save them. Like whenever I try to repeat the books, I still don't want to save them. I don't know why. Probably because their uh, new look before after book one is like more likable to me. I just don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean Raj with his beard, that is, and also Diago is going to have the beard anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a super awesome thing. And in book two, by the way, that is also one thing I forgot to mention. At the end of book one, and again, like Endless Summer was really an interactive book, I say, because also if you see at the end of book one, you had this puzzle thing that you needed to solve, and right at the end of the last chapter in book one, and it tells you can end here or you can take some time. So that was really interactive because it's not just you can tap through phone and just be done with it, but I actually needed to have a pen and paper and solve that. So that was the first. Did you solve that? Did you manage to pull out the answer?
On my first time finishing book one, I did not get to collect all the dossiers and then know the password of Rourke with the most wanted name. So I did not get to complete that. But then I started to search for answers on Google, and then yeah, I have to repeat the book. I earned or saved enough points to buy all the diamond choices.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. I think I got like you needed to write some words, 10 words or 12 words, I think. I got like six of them right and six of them wrong. So yeah, I did the same thing. I went to YouTube, I watched one playthrough, and from there I just copied it.
Have you tried playing Endless Summer again after your first time finishing the books?
No, that's because I was going to talk about that, but it's like that. After the ending of book three, like when I finished book one, I thought I would start again when I lost it, but I started book two because I was waiting to finish it. Like I was really can't wait to find what is going to happen. So, but when I finished book three, it was like for me really hard to go back and start from the beginning because at the end what happens because we are given three endings, and
Yeah.
with the if we basically submit ourselves to root, that is kind of a ending, but that's still sad because we lose our friends and everything, our love interest, we're back to the same thing. Queen has a disease again, and if you return to Vanu, that's also sad. And if you, I personally, what I did, I stayed at the island with my friends. That was a happy ending, but still, kind of a sad that it ended. So knowing what happens at the end, it was kind of sad to start back again. But you played Python.
Yeah. The Endless is ending. You get to stay on La Huerta, and then it's actually nice because you get to spend like the rest of your lives with the people on the island, but at the same time, some of the characters are sad because they don't get to see their loved ones again. So if you if like you're the kind of player who really wants the best for all your friends, you really go and pick the Vanos ending. And then those two are my go-to endings whenever I try to reread or replay the book again. The first one, Rourke's ending, I don't like it because not only I don't get to have a scene with Jake. Jake's my LI, so it's also sad because they don't know each other or remember any memories they had together.
Yeah, yeah. We don't even see Diago in there. I guess you're
Yeah.
right. Diago and Mike, and also not Diago. I'm sorry, Jake and Mike, and also yeah, like other friends. They don't have any recollection of what happened. So that was really sad, because I think I personally chose the ending where we stay at the island because I think when our friends were back at the university, they were with their families, but still they were not happy, were they? Michelle was unhappy about what was happening in her life. Sean was not completely happy. Craig, Jara, they were kind of finding something. And our allies, like Queen, she was fighting with the disease. Was living in a completely different world. And the same thing was true with Diago because Diago was just sort of searching himself. And so I think the island, when we came back to La Huerta, that's when we started identifying ourselves, all our friends. I think that was the place. So staying there was the right thing to do, but thinking of like all the loved ones they lost, that was really a heartbreaking thing.
Yeah. And I think when you choose the Endless's ending, some of the characters, they somehow accepted the fact that they won't be seeing their loved ones again, but at the same time it's still sad for them. So yeah, it's kind of hard to choose the an ending for book 3.
Yeah, exactly. I think with the we stay at the island with that. If we could have sort of rescued the family members or the people of the world, or would have saved the world, that would have been super awesome. But again, going back would also mean like Diago and Baron, if they don't see each other, that would have been also really heartbreaking.
Exactly, yes. I agree. And for those players who chose Jake as their love interest and then you choose you choose Rourke's ending, it's kind of sad because not only they don't get to have a scene together, but also the players who have Jake as their love interest can also be sad or disappointed because of that.
Yeah, exactly. And also Diago and Varian. Diago won't remember anything, but Varian would be, locked in the prison. So that's just a horrible ending. And I was reading somewhere this ending. If they were to make a sequel to that book, then this ending would have made a lot of sense. But since it is ending here forever, then this ending is just going to leave with a thirst, with lots of unanswered question and just disappointment, I guess.
Yes, so hopefully, if ever they, go and write a spin-off or maybe a part of that ending, Rourke's ending, it will be, I think, more clear for the players.
Yeah. That's true. That would be the case if it is. Um, but yeah, it's a great because whenever you have multiple endings, then people come back again and see what happened in the other endings, and I think all the endings were similarly emotional and really good, and that's why I think this is one of the best mystery books and even books in choices. Just fabulous.
Yes. I have to ask though, you know that secret scene in book 3, I think chapter 9,
Yeah.
that like you get a surprise celebration or like something like that with
Oh.
your friends. Did you
In the
get that?
clockmaker, in the clockmaker's place.
No, they're like in a ice skating rink in the snowy plains. I don't know, but I've been trying to get that scene, but I still don't know how to have that or how to get that.
No, I haven't. I don't think I played in book three in chapter nine, right?
Yes, yes,
No, I don't think I got that scene. In chapter 10, the marriage, we get that scene, but in chapter 9, I think we fight the the sea monster, and then we
yeah,
come back. That's all. Yeah, we get a selfie, I guess. That's after the marriage, yeah. But
yeah.
no, I don't think I have played that scene.
As for some players, I watched a video on YouTube about that scene. You know how some players, and then some of the comments say that you have to have at least, I don't know, 50 points for each characters in order for them to be in that surprise party, because I just got that scene the last time I played book 3, and then Sarah, Diego, and Jake came. The others did not, so I don't know how to get them come as well.
Hmm. So I think you need to play all the diamond scenes from book one, and then you need to play other scenes too. Then I think you can only have all the character points.
Yes, I think so too.
Yeah, and like I said, then that's why it's like it doesn't matter how many times you play, it's always going to be something new you can always find with this book.
Yes, especially if you haven't explored or purchased all the diamonds of each book.
Yeah, and even with all the diamonds purchased, sometimes you can not even find the book because you need to sometimes restart a chapter also to find other clues, and then you can unlock a scene also.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, that was good. I have one question for you. This was I really thought about it. I think in book two it happened. How did you feel about Estila killing Leela the way she killed her? Did you wish that maybe because when Leela saved us, did you wish that because Leela saved us from Rourke that she deserved better, or how did you feel about that?
The first time I played it, I Estella killed Lila, but then the other times I played again the that part, I Estella did not get to kill Lila. So let's stick with the time where Estella killed Lila. I actually think that it's, no matter, let's say, anger or guilt that you have about, you know Lila killing Estella's mom, I don't think that it's still right for Estella to kill Lila. I don't know why, but The other option where Leela sacrificed herself in order for Estella and other characters to escape from Rourke, I think she did such a great job to redeem herself in the end.
Oh yeah. Wow. So you're saying there is also like Estila cannot also kill Lila. So then what happens?
Yeah, I think that depends on your relationship with Estella. You know that relationship choice where it's either it's successful or not. So I, if you chose to, if you tell Estella not to kill Lila, if that's successful, she won't do that, and then in the end, Lila will sacrifice herself for to redeem herself.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So I mean, Lila would die, but right?
Yes, she will still die in the book.
Yeah, that's true. But if we choose Rurkwe, then also we see Lila in the campus. I
Yes.
mean, yeah, should be alive. Yeah. So I was just wondering, what did you have in mind? Yeah, I also felt the same thing. Like Lila, she did betray, Olivia. I think
Mhm.
Steela's mom, but still, in the face of danger, she tried to save, our main character and all of our friends. And also, she has always been concerned with our, security because she says, well, these kids, they don't have anything to do with this, so I need to protect these kids. And at the end, she also says, I think, when she gets a bullet in her body, that she says, well, if I don't save you, then what kind of tour guide I am?
Yes, and her character is, I think, for me, is just so misunderstood by Estella and then the other characters once they knew about her betrayal when Lila killed Estella's mother.
Yeah.
Deep inside, she's just someone who wants to prove something to maybe not only Rourke but to the world.
Yeah, because she has also a history
Yeah.
that I think her family died in a car crash or something, and then Rourke took her under his wings and sort of made her do his dirty little works so that Rourke won't have to, make his hands dirty.
Yeah,
That was devilish. Yeah.
I agree.
And also at the end of book two and at the end of 11th chapter in book 3, we were also given this kind of clues like a puzzle for password or what to say to the Vanu. So did you manage to come up with those?
um Actually, no, I have to search because
uh,
I'm not really good with puzzles. I think my brain won't function that much, so I have to search for the answers.
yeah, yeah, same. I mean, with the third one, I think I had the words, but it was just the order I didn't know.
Mhm. Yeah, it's kind of hard to know like the order, though it's there's a clue with what Vanna
Yeah,
was saying, but still.
yeah. Yeah, it's just the amount of time you need to pick that thing and then observe that because yeah, it's just it kind of get frustrated sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah.
What's What's your favorite chapter like in all three books in Endless Summer?
Hmm. That's a good question. So favorite chapter I liked, I would say it's got to be somewhere in book 1 because that when the mystery was building up and I always like when like something mysterious happening, we don't know why it's happening. So I think it was chapter 7 or chapter 8, I think. Like when we come back from that place where we meet the Sabretooth with Jake, Queen, and we regroup with the others, and sort of we see like what everyone is thinking, and we see the plane or another getaway was also gone, and we were trapped there. So that was really interesting because we knew that we're going to be trapped there for a long time, but that was a really, but still lots of mysteries lying ahead. We didn't know what it was, but it was a great setup, and I liked that chapter. What about you?
My favorite chapter was, of course, the hand fasting ceremony. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
so romantic and so genuine. I think my love interest, Jake, he's just really so genuine and so honest to the point that, we know his attitude, his personality. Like, he's sarcastic, egotistical, and also cold sometimes. And, he's like opposite of those things. So it's really nice to get or to see how vulnerable he is.
yeah, exactly. The hand fasting ceremony, and also the way our love interest dress, and that was really a change of dress. Like they were completely different with their hair, face, and they're looking so awesome. All the allies.
Yes. Who's your love interest, by the way?
Yeah, so I chose Queen from the very first because of like I found this connection with Queen. At first, when Queen was introduced, I thought maybe she's going to be like a rich, like a like popular girl in high school, like cheerleader or someone. But then I thought no, it's not the case. So, but then we find out when we start talking with Queen and we go to the beach, you see, we always have this connection with Queen already, and with Queen's disease and the things happen. So I was kind of, drawn toward her, and the queen was also looking very beautiful at the time of hand fasting, and it was super awesome.
Yes. Um, like Queen dying in book two, I think. Is that book two?
Yeah, book two.
Yeah. Like her catalyst idol, one of the ways on how she will die. She's That's the only death that we see or we saw on the book to happen in reality. And since Queen is your love interest, how does it feel for you to read that?
Yeah. So when that happened, I was not expecting that. I was like, maybe we would change that at that spot, but actually having to go through that, like I was like, wow, this was a lot, and that's why I felt like Queen as a love interest also. It was like other love interests. They all of the love interests they have their fair share of difficulties and problems where MC helps, but with Queen, it's like life and death situation. So I was like, no, we need to step up our game because we just were getting closer, and also at that time you have had this option to date one of the love interests. Of course, I was dating Queen, and we also went into this portal, time dimension, and to revive this heart of the island so we can cure Queen and to not have Queen on the adventure and just her life on the line. So it was kind of sad, I would say, to go through that because I thought maybe it would be just the island will cure her automatically, but we actually had to do all of those things, took the risk, and at the end we revived Queen, and still Queen was not herself, so that was a little worrying. But yeah, I was glad that finally she got well and it didn't affect her much.
Yeah, and I think that's why "In the Summer" is the best and one of the well-written books Pixelberry has, ever written and made. It's because out of all the 2,000, I can't remember the exact number. I think that's 2,139 times that the Endless tried to save all her friends. We get to see one of the possible deaths of our friend Quinn, and it is just really so amazing and so well written that it's just, I don't know, it's just really beautiful to finally see one of the possibilities come to life. Like you get to experience one of the possible, yeah, deaths of your friends.
Yeah, I agree with that. By the way, one question. So, what Jake did call you? I mean, a Girl Scout?
um Princess.
Princess?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because in my case, he used to call me Boy Scout, so I was just wondering.
Yeah. What
Okay.
nickname did you chose for Jake?
Oh, I forgot. That was in book one. Can you remember the options? Because I see. Oh, it was some actor's name, I think.
Oh, Jared.
Joker.
I think it was
Who?
Jared. Jared
Yeah,
Leto. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, probably. So I chose that one. Yeah, but he used to call me Boy Scout. So I was just wondering what he, for the female one, what he used to call. Yeah, and also with this Rourke thing, I was going to talk about that. So, how did you feel about Rourke as a villain? Because he always how he justifies or he tries to come out like he's right. He's definitely whatever he's doing is going to change the world. He lies again and again, but till the end, all he wants to be the emperor, and he wants to just control the world and just be the king of it. But the way he presents his ideas, it feels like he is the right thing, and he's been the victim of the time and everything. But so, how do you feel about Rourke overall?
Um, the first time where Alistair said he was, Alistair Everett Rourke, I thought that he's the villain. He's Rourke himself. But then he said that he's the son of Rourke, so that kind of gave me like a huge relief because even though Alistair is, sometimes doesn't agree with my character or everyone in the group, I still, somehow like him. I don't know why. Probably because some of his personality, where he's also, smart when it comes to figuring out like the puzzles given to them. So about Rourke, I feel like he's a good villain. Like he thinks well when it comes to um, giving puzzles to the MC or Taylor. But I just wish that maybe the writers could have make him maybe more intelligent or more challenging to fight against. Because I feel like the ending, given the ending of the book three, I feel like they defeated um, Rourke very easily, depending on what choice or ending you choose. So maybe give making him more challenging when it comes to fighting with the catalyst. I feel like he could be more.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, even the option, I think Rourke is presented as a villain, but still, there's an open option that he can still be the villain and not get the what he deserves, or the other people they don't get not getting the justice. Because if we choose Rourke's route, then he's going to be the emperor, and he's going to get everything at all he wanted, and it's not going to be the justice. But if we choose to stay on the island, then we'll be just making Rourke pay. He'll be falling down through the portal. And in the if we return to Vanu, then also Rourke will get arrested. So justice will be served. But I think I'm totally in agreement with you. So when he brings this Omega Mech, I think this robot. So
Yeah.
if at that point we had a fight with Rourke, like he's in the robot and trying to like, sort of kill us, and then in fight, if we had defeated him or caught him. So that would have made more sense, I think.
Yeah, and for me, the story it's well written, but at the same time, I feel like it still lacks some
Mm.
explanation to the players. Like, how is it this part of the island is different? The time is different there compared to this other part of island, and I feel like it's not discussed or explained there.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I totally agree with you that could have been well explained there.
Yeah.
And specifically toward the ending, I think they could have done more because the third book ends at chapter 12. So if it were a little bit more stretched, then they could have probably included that. And even with all the three endings, they could have reached a proper conclusion where maybe we get to save the world also and be with our friends together. That would have been a happy ending too.
Yeah, I agree. And chapter 10 of book 3 is like the hand fasting. So after that, we get like two chapters and then it ends there. So I feel like the hand fasting or like the married life of our character and then our love interest, I think like they don't have enough time to maybe enjoy their married life before ending book 3.
Yeah, exactly. Agree with that. That could have been changed, but still, like I said, it's a complete book. In all its the things that happened. It's just one of the best books in terms of writing. But yeah, the ending could have been more. So it would have been could have been a happy ending. Also, there could have been an option for that, and then it would have been like it's already like the best out there, then it would have been like a crazy best, let's say.
Yes. For you, what do you think is like, um, what do you think is lacking from the story that what if you feel like if it's explained there, it will be like the best of the best?
Um, yeah, so what's lacking, I would say, definitely book one, book two, book three, they are, I feel like a big, so instead of thinking of them as three books, I feel them they're a one book and then divided into different parts, because it's divided in act one, we start in book one, and then I think act eight or somewhere we end at book three. So it's all good so far, really well written, really everything's good. But I think toward the ending, like you said, they could have just given us, because, well, like you said, we just get married and then suddenly the book ends, and maybe depending on our choice, our marriage life also could end well. So in two of those options, they definitely end, and I think so. The ending could have been a little bit more, because Rourke as a villain, because at the end I think Rourke can be less of a villain too. So um, I understand the choice was there, but still a little more stretched, and there could have been an option where we could save the world and also La Huerta and be with our friends. So world will be saved, and also Barry and Diago will be together. La Huerta and the world, everything will be living together, and our main character will be there too. So there should have been this kind of an ending, because after being emotionally connected to this book, I think that's the players deserved at least. So that would have been super awesome to see. Maybe they could have, like in It Lives, we see depending on your friend's score, the ending is going to be happier or sad ending. So if you have good score or you have collected something, then they could have said, all right, so you get to save the world, and also you get to have La Huerta, then Tiago Varen will be together, all the family members will be safe, and everything will be all right. So if they had done something like that, I think this would have been. It's already a hit book. It would have been like this like I don't know. It would have been this crazy hit book. I mean, one of a kind. It would have.
True. And ever since book 1, Rourke is like known as the number one villain and he's like feared by probably everyone. So I feel like if we have that scene on book 3 where the fight scene at the end, probably maybe Pixelberry should have prolonged that scene,
Yes,
because I'm not satisfied with the ending on how they defeated Rourke.
exactly.
So it's just maybe they could have extended the scene a bit and then made Rourke a very powerful villain uh, to the fact that the even the catalyst, even though there are 12, had a hard time fighting him.
Hmm. Yeah, because I think the fighting scene we only fight with Lundgren, but with Rourke we didn't just fight. We come in, then just he announces Estila is his daughter, then grabs her, and then we already know the truth about Alistair, and then the Craig and no Sean and someone else, Keel I think, pins him down, and then everything just depending. It depends on our choice, pretty much.
Yeah, and when it comes to fighting Lundgren and then the other um, Jake's old friends, I feel like it's more, I don't know the exact word, but different. When it comes to the final ending, fighting with Rourke, it's more on words instead of actions. And I'm probably sure that the readers, other readers or players, would like some fighting scene with him too.
Yeah, yeah. I think how Lundgren ends, it was really sad because Mike sacrifices himself. I think if we had gotten something like, really beating him with arms and just defeating him, that would have been super awesome. But Mike, sacrificing himself, that was really sad.
Yes, and imagine like Mike sacrifice himself from Lundgren. I'm kind of expecting or maybe hopeful that one of the 12 catalysts will also sacrifice themselves in order to defeat Rourke, even though, our character sacrificed when we choose the um, Vanos ending. Still feel
Mhm.
like people could have maybe um, sacrifice themselves in order for other people to survive the fight against Rourke.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been super awesome. I think it could have been more. I mean, it's not like saying it's not good, but it's one of the best. But with some things, at the end, it could have been like, the best of the best.
Yes, so it's like it's the best, but it could be like something more.
Exactly.
And I
So
hope that Alistair's mother, Imogen, I feel like she could have done a lot on the ending. Being a hologram, and then maybe talking to Alistair or Rourke about their family issues, or maybe I feel like Imogen should be able to have more scenes or to be explained more on the book
mhm.
about her life, her backstory, and then how is she as a mother and as a wife.
Yeah, exactly. Also, one thing about Iris, Iris is also our friend, so she has also this friendship banner beside her name, these emojis. So these emojis change, and if we have a good relationship with Iris, then depending on that, I think, like you said, they should be able to help us more, or maybe So yeah, so it should have been Iris helping us depending on the scene, and our friends surviving depending on their relationship score with them, and then getting on a final, really face to face, like battle with Root with in his robot and us, and then ending it there, and then getting back everything. So that would have been a really great ending. I was hoping for that, but the ending they gave us, it was like you said, it was about more, less, action there, or less, justice, but more it's like hypothetical, like what could happen and what could not.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Because whenever they, encounter Rourke, they were, talking all the time. So probably in the end, give us some, fight scenes with him.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's right. And also the art scene in the book, it's like super awesome, no?
Yes.
Like when Malatesta throws the other half of the heart into the mouth of Sirius, I think that and various other art scenes. It's just awesome. And Jake, I think you know, I have seen you posting that scene also. Like Jake, when we go to the tower or something. I don't know, when you first reach La Huerta, and then the stars there or the sky. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was a great, great art scenes.
Yes. And I was hoping for other books to have those kind of scenes as well, because I feel like some books that I've read from Choices, I feel like they were not given enough, like those kind of scenes where they just, flash these photos of them. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. Sure. I mean, like these art scenes, like like all of a sudden, like the Jake one and the other, or Sean, like in the universe, like all the stars and the planets around him, and just he's standing there. These kind of like special art scenes.
Yeah, so I feel like that's one of the reasons why Endless Summer is such a good, or I mean, such a great book because of that, and of course
Yeah,
other reasons as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely. That's and did you see that on like on Reddit or on Tumblr? Like someone did this. I don't know who, but there was this all the love interest in some characters from this Endless Summer book, and how the characters sort of look like in terms of like how the characters are today, like in other books and choices. You know,
I feel like I saw some photos of that, but I can't remember really. But that would be so cool if they have the same animation as the other books. It will probably
Make them more,
make them look more realistic.
yeah, 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 like realistic.
But the animation, of Endless Summer is also nice, so that's okay.
Yeah, no, no, not animation. It's like the characters. Like the model. Yeah. So that would have been because they come up with this like how they would have looked like, and that looks awesome too. Yeah, but yeah, it's a great here. Like how we see Queen, Jake, and how on different. And also, I think Queen is the one who changes outfit in book three when we find her in Malatista's ship. But none of them, no other allies changed their outfits. So that was a great thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, who's your most favorite character besides from, you know, your character and your love interest and Diego? Who's your most favorite among the other catalysts?
Other than my love interests and Diago, who it's a tough question. So let's see. Um, I would have to go on this one with. There's some like I love all of them equally, but I would go with Craig because the way Craig he like his personality I like the fun loving personality and this his bond with Zara I really like that. So it's Craig, and also I think he got the machine gun or something, like how he was fighting. So that was a great action scene. That scenes I really those scenes I really liked with Craig like dominating the enemy. So it has to be Craig.
And how about who's your least favorite?
Least favorite. It's I don't think there is one least favorite because all of them are like all of them are favorite in their own way. So least favorite would be even Lila. She's not a catalyst, but still I kind of have my own respect for her. So yeah, all of them are like I said. This is the one of the best friend groups you can always have ask for in Choices books. So and they created this, and it's just super awesome. But what about you? Who is your favorite and least favorite?
Um, my most favorite besides from Jake and Diego would be Sean.
Sean. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
th- his character is just really good, like how he cares and protect the people he loves. He's very protective, and even his respect and his um, the way he acts towards Michelle, despite their past
Yeah.
together. I still find that really nice. And
Mm.
for the least favorite, it's gotta be Grace. I don't know. Wait, it's Grace because I don't know why she's just probably some a part of her personality that just maybe annoys me a little. And then her catalyst idol, one of the possible deaths, she got angry, right? And then
Yeah.
she smashed that's the reason why she died, and probably other people around her. So that's kind of irritating for me.
Yeah, yeah. I think Grace, we see her, but it's sort of she has, yeah, she's scaring, but sort of she is this, like she keeps herself, she keeps to herself, is can, but yeah, but like she's always to her at her best whenever she's with Alistair, always caring for him, and vice versa. So I think they together make a great team and complete with each other.
Yes, and the only thing with Grace is like Alistair is so concerned and protective of her to the point that sometimes it's annoying or like overreacting,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
the part where Grace almost died going to the portal.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and also in one of the realities we see, like Grace dies, and that's why Alistair kills all of them with a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why, like, Alistair didn't get the love he deserved from anyone since childhood. So he was kind of really protective of who he lets, hang out with him. So when then Grace comes and they click from the very first moment. So that's why he gets Grace in his life, and so I understand that. But yeah, I totally get what you were saying there.
Yes, and I want to know like what's I mean, who's your favorite, and what whose Ember of Hope do you like the most? Like the scene.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Ember of Hope, I would say. Um, um, well, a lot of the ones I liked, but the most I would say Diago's because sort of also Diago is looking like really good in this, wearing glasses and in the future. So and the context that his father calling him back and finally, like saying like wow, and the lines he wrote and it really clicked to me and the whole thing. So I really like that.
What about the Catalyst Idol?
Yeah, idol. So mostly they die. So I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, but I liked Zara's one because I think she dies, but she strikes the final blow. She kills Rourke too, and sort of I think wreaks havoc in that Rourke's in this workplace too. Like she just destroys everything at one point. She dies, but she definitely also frees Jake too, who was locked up in his cell. Though finally all of them die, but I think that was a pretty brave of Zara.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. What about you?
The Catalyst Idol. Just I'm not biased, but I like Jake's. Um,
Yeah.
because I don't know, you can really see how he cares and how he's so protective of, you know, the
Yeah.
character or Taylor.
Yeah.
And for the Ember of Hope, my most favorite is Alistair's because it shows that side of him, being a father, having a child with Grace, and how he for his son, and how much he does not want his son to experience the same way Alistair did with Rourke.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's specifically when we get the Amber of Hope scene with Alistair, just after Rourke reveals the big secret that Alistair is not like a normal born child. So, yeah, that was a special scene.
Yeah.
That was definitely a special scene. And and what about in the first chapter? I think we also see this. Can't remember what was that. Uh, this this oh yeah, Sirius. So who you go with there when you? I think did you have Jake and Sean too?
Where?
When you fight the sea monster.
Oh, on the jet ski.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I have Jake and Sean with me.
Jake and Sean. Yeah. So I had same Jake and Sean. I thought maybe depending on your score, you can have different people.
And it's actually um, the part of Cetus, and then the other two sea monsters. It's it's actually I'm I'm really like a loss for words, but um, the fight scene, it's
Yeah.
very um, nice to the point where like um, they have to Malates that have to throw the heart to one of the sea monsters or to Cetus, and then Varian's mother died because she tried sacrificing herself for her people.
Yeah.
It's sad, but
Yeah.
I know, yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what strikes me most about that is Varen's mom. She sacrificed her to stop that, but ultimately, even if she died, the that thing still keeps attacking them, and like, yeah, we finally got rid of him, the sea monster. But I think it was a sad thing that happened, and then Varen becomes the Elishar. I think. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was an emotional moment. I think this book was full of those kind of heartbreaking moments.
Yes, it's very balanced, like the action, the comedy, the romance, and then the drama.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah,
really well written.
yeah, really well written, and everything is in equal amount, in the proper amount. So when you found out about the endless, like when you see his face and you see it's your main character and an older version, so what did you think of that?
It's surprising, but at the same time, I kind of um, expected that. Probably not like I just have this hunch that the endless is someone like I know, yeah, something like that. So it's surprising, but at the same time, I kind of expected that.
Yeah, totally agree with that. And talking about this, some mysteries, staying mystery in this book, like you were saying earlier. Did you play Hero?
I tried playing the first chapter.
Yeah,
I have a lot of books that I am reading currently, so I'm not reading that for now.
yeah. So in this book two of Endless Summer, when we first meet Lundgren and what was that other guy with this rock hands, like
Is it Tetra?
yeah, yeah, Tetra. So he also mentions, or someone else, that so there were other idols. He said, hey, let's take this idol and we need to give it to Silas. So Silas is a character in I think Silas is the name in Hero. So and they know each other. So Silas and Rourke, they know each other. And even in the Hero book, our main character will go to that same crystal world, but sadly Hero is not going to get a book two. So it just ends at book one. But it's an incomplete book. Okay, Hero book one is just like Endless Summer. It's book one, but without book two or book three, it's an incomplete. Sadly, it's not going to get a book two like ever. We go to the same crystal world where the Vanu's world. And we maybe have a connection with that world, but we'll never know. So I think this two could have been connected. So more about Endless Summer could have been revealed in a Hero book, but sadly, we will never reach that point.
Yes, a lot of crossovers actually. Also, Jake's sister Rebecca, she's in Most Wanted book.
Oh yeah. Oh, so this Officer Mackenzie, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But does she mention anything about Jake?
Um, Not sure. I'm still on chapter two, and like what I said, I set that aside for now. I've been reading the books I'm reading currently for now.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I saw that post on your Instagram. Yeah, I think you also answered the same thing. Yeah, that you just read one chapter for Jake. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just there for Jake's sister. I just want to know who she is or her
Uh,
personality.
yeah, I don't think like we get to know much about her afterwards because it's just we just move on. But I don't know. I haven't played much chapters after that myself either, so I can't say. But I don't think like we get much of her though because the story moves to completely into a different pace. I think.
But I feel like if her character in Most Wanted is like more expanded or more um, explained to the players, I feel like they will understand her and her relationship with Jake even more.
Yeah. So did Jake say like Jake's sister is a police officer in that book? I can't remember that.
No, he did not.
Okay. But the name was same, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Then I would have to read now, like to find out if it reveals something about Jake. Because yeah, it's always if the universes are related, then it's always fun to read them to find out some similarity. And Hero did have some similarity, and I'm really sad now that we won't be able to see the similarity between these two books since Hero is never gonna get a sequel.
Yes, and how some books are like connected to one another. I want to know your thoughts about this. So I have theory where I don't know if you've seen that on my Instagram post.
I
Did
think
you?
I did. I
Yeah,
think I did. These stories, I think.
yeah. So I was kind of thinking like, what if Endless Summer is the last book of on choices, and then everyone, how some books when they go to the hotels, to the library, to the casino, they have the same image as some scenes in Endless Summer. So I was just kind of thinking that maybe Endless Summer is the last book because that's where the part of the world ends, and then it's actually so amazing if Pixelberry confirmed that, and then knowing that part where they in I think it's in book one where they saw the people inside the um I don't the station, the pod, the
Yeah,
one where Rourke was in at
yeah,
the end
yeah,
of book one. It's
yeah.
actually it's actually amazing if ever it's Pixelberry confirms that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I think, yeah, I mean, with the ending that, you basically, the ending, if you choose to stay at La Huerta, then definitely the world has ended and only La Huerta exists. So it's like the whole world's gone. So yeah, if the universes are connected, then that's the last book. So like even with Hero, so if Hero exists there, that basically means that Heroes events happened prior to that Endless Summer event because when Endless Summer happened, then it's just it's just ended there. That's the end. Yeah, it's totally a good theory, I guess. And if Pixelberry confirms it, then it would be really awesome. And I think this book will also have a very special heart, and everything that would be taking place will be sort of happening before the incident of Endless Summer.
Yes, I do hope that they make a book about, or maybe a spin-off of Endless Summer.
Yeah, yeah, that would be super awesome because I think it deserved a third book because I think it's like 16 chapters, 15 chapters, and then 12 chapters. So it's like a two book like series. So and the Royal Romance series, it has like even three books and then another spin off with Royal Air. So I don't see why Endless Summer didn't deserve a book four or something,
Or
or maybe
maybe like
yeah.
what you said earlier about some books, they have like these side stories. I feel like they should have made they should have made one for Endless Summer as well.
Yes, totally, totally agree with that. I mean, or even they can just start with like depending on where you ended or with what ending you chose, they can start from there. For instance, if you ended in the Lahore, Thailand, then you because there's always some time trick, right? So maybe you can get something back from Vanu, maybe something another danger, because someone can also reach, because space travel is a thing. So maybe in space something happens, someone is also trying to use Vanu, and then we will get there and try to save Vanu, and in that process we can also end up saving the world from there. Or in other words, if Rourke has the power, then there is like also we fight against Rourke, or we sort of that force tries to make Rourke a friend, and together they try to rule over the universe. But then we get together with Vanu, we defeat Rourke, and stabilize everything. Or in the third ending, when we go back to Vanu, then also we can be recreated in Earth, sort of reincarnated, so our that would have been super awesome. So depending on what ending, so like just imagining like what could be a possibility spin-off, but that would be super awesome, because we'll always love to see a good ending now, and another book with Endless Summer, because the third book is really short, of 12 chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
that is.
like, I feel like even if the fans or the players will request that, I feel like Pixelberry will not do that, because how some books that they made about, for example, do you know about Distant Shores? Do you know that book? Have you read that?
Yeah, I was really sad about its ending too. I mean, not like the end chapter, but right at the end, what happened. I was sad about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of players wanted a book too, because it's true, it's very, the ending is such a cliffhanger, and we need a book two for that. And then we have this the Nanny Affair book two, though I'm not complaining that they shouldn't, have continued with the book two, but the ending of book one is already nice, or it's already enough to be the end of the story.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that. I think the choices, they decide which book to give a sequel or not when this book is in the halfway. So when a book is in halfway done, and they see, okay, so this book, like how many diamonds players are using. So if people are really spending diamonds on that book, so I felt like people didn't really spend diamonds, because at the time Blades of Light and Shadow was going on, and then this book went into a short hiatus too. So then, but when it came back, also a lot of people started playing this book. But also, I was really invested into Charlie and all the things, but I felt like it was deprived of a sequel. And with Nanny Affair, what happened? Like all the choices players, even the thing is that the choices said also, like the people we see on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, like they are 45% of choices players. Like there is a majority of player who just open the app, play choices, and get out of there. They don't interact with much. There's a large majority, and they buy diamonds. They even buy VIPs, or even spend money to buy diamonds. So and they basically put the money in choices app, and they just keep the choices app open. So now the Nanny Affair, people like Sam so much, and they spend diamonds, they bought diamonds, so that's why they gave it a book two. And then if that happens again, you will see a book three. But with Distant Shores, it was not the case. With Hero, it was not the case. So I understand that at that point, but I still feel you. I'm not complaining about book not getting a book two. Okay, maybe not a lot of books are gonna get book two, but even if you finish it here, the same thing like Endless, it was a complete book, but just what happened at the end, it was like a 0.5% extension would have made it like the best of the best. But with Endless, Distant Shores, what happened? There, I think there were lots of unanswered questions, like what happens to Charlie, why Edward was like that. So I think if even they would have made a 20 chapters book one, I will not be complaining about book two even then. So I think it's just an incomplete book at the end, with lots of information missing.
Yes, if ever they decide to write book two, I think it's a nice start where my our character, and I think his name is Robin, if I'm not mistaken. the villain of the story, and then he's all. I feel like they should start the story from the modern world, and then the characters, or the pirates will go to the modern world and maybe try to live their life.
Yeah,
So just like an opposite thing of what happened to book one.
yeah. And I also said about that, like we have this in Blades of Light and Shadow. It's in the old time, and this is also in old time. So the opposite thing, like you said, pirates coming to the, this modern life, and then surviving there. Like it would be hilarious. Like they will see the car, like they will say, "Wow, this is a wizardy," or "What is this?" And that would be super fun. And I hope we get one book like that.
Yes, and another problem, or yeah, with Pixelberry is that they love to rush endings.
Hmm.
Give us like very minimal amount of chapters in one book, and then they just make the ending so rushed to the point that they could have explained more.
Yeah. I totally agree with that, and they're doing this with the recent few books. They did it with Foreign Affairs, Distant Shores. They're doing it with some books, and I hope they don't keep on doing following this trend, because it is just gonna turn people off. Because I have feel people like messaging a lot of times, like commenting a long time ago though, that well, I was in choices because of Endless Summer and Hero. Now, none of those books are going to get a sequel, so I'm not going to play Choices anymore. So, a lot of people have uninstalled Choices just because, Hero and Endless Summer not getting a, sequel, or this kind of books not coming back. But, or like good books like Distant Shores and other books, just getting deprived of a good sequel. So, or just like a good book with good pace, like Endless Summer. So, I think Choices need to work on that. Otherwise, they're going to lose a lot of people, I guess.
True, I agree on that. And um, they I I forgot what I wanted to say,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel like they should listen to their fans, or to the players.
Yeah, exactly. That's they should do. That they should do. Yeah, I understand. They want to keep on publishing books like the Nanny Affair and stuff, Queen Bee. I know they're fan favorites, but they need to keep in mind also books like Endless Summer. They're also fan favorites. Right? They're working on a zombie book. Let's hope that it's gonna be worth it.
Yeah, I've heard about that. There
Yeah,
isn't much horror stories, Pixelberry wrote, or books on choices. So I think that's nice.
yeah. And like hopefully it's going to be like It Lives in terms of horror, and maybe a time lapse like could be there because the zombies are there, and because of Endless Summer. We'll have to see like what they come up with.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, boss.
But what I'm like sad about is how they stop continuing writing Ride or Die book 2.
Yeah, yeah, they did cancel a lot of bunch of books, including Ride or Die, Hero, and Most Wanted, and some other books. So it's just really sad.
Yeah, and Ride or Die is such a good book, and a lot of people are waiting for the book 2, and then they told us that they will not be continuing book 2, so that's just really disappointing.
I mean, um, if people are waiting for a book, I think a lot of people said what really turned them off is they gave us hope, like we're going to release, and suddenly they said, no, we're not going to release. Like I said, I understand that perspective, but I think if they made a promise they're going to release a book, I think instead of canceling those, they should have given it more time. Perhaps, like in future, Who knows? Because they say we don't have the writers now, and no one knows. They can just take some writers from audience, or just they can see how it comes out. They should have put some more effort. That would have been good, at least, because these books are fan favorites.
Yeah, I agree. They were doing actually a good job with the books, and then I don't know what happened this year. It just went a bit downhill.
Yeah, completely.
They should really listen to what other people are saying, because it will like do them so much.
Yeah, completely. So, what current books are you reading at this moment?
I just finished reading the first chapter of the Nanny Affair book 2 a while ago, and I've also just finished reading Open Heart. It's my first time to read the book, the all the three books. And then what I'm reading right now is A Very Scandalous Proposal and Laws of Attraction.
Yeah, same. I'm also reading A Very Scandalous Proposal, Laws of Attraction, that's currently on hiatus. And then, yeah, Open Heart, I think I ended when this book ended. But yeah, it's just, yeah, so it was a good ending too. I mean, good book. Again, could have had a little bit more at the end. But
I
yeah, let's hope new books are gonna have a good ending.
Yes, Foreign Affairs is also a good book, but the endings just so rushed.
Yeah. Foreign affairs, when it started at the first, fourth chapter, fifth chapter, the pace was so, dud. Like it didn't have much going on, short chapters, and then at the end they just rushed the story. I mean, the Winston, that was he just, announced, "Look, I'm villain," and then suddenly, your love interest comes from behind and tackles him down. I mean, the same like with something happened with Rourke, so it was like so easy.
Yeah, I agree. And also in Open Heart, book 3 about Bloom, it's just so rushed, and I think that
Yeah.
upset, a lot of players.
Exactly. Because Bloom, I think he had the best plot in that book to have something, I think they built him well, really his personality, whether he should be a villain or he should be a hero, a good person or a bad person, and then suddenly they just rushed it into something.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I hope that future books they don't repeat the same mistakes.
I agree, because like what you said, a lot of players will stop playing choices.
Yeah, that they would do if that keeps going on. A lot of people still say, under choices posts that I'm going to uninstall the both app now. Maybe I'll come back when Crimes of Passion releases if it's going well. So yeah.
If ever that happens in the future, will you uninstall choices?
No, actually, I can't just because yeah, I get that stories, but choices, the music's it has, so it has become a part of the life. So the stories they give, and I'm pretty much sure there are gonna be stories. Maybe there's gonna be some downtime where for 2 months we're not going to have any story. Then we'll have to replay like Endless Summer or High School Story, those kind of books again. But yeah, I'm not gonna leave choices. Maybe I'm not gonna read old books, new books. But if that ever happens, like they're only releasing books like steamy books only, more and more, then I'll be playing that. So far, as far as I can, and if I feel like no, it's just too much, then I'll be reading the old books because. Like you said, all the times I haven't played all the diamond scenes, so it would be awesome to see what happens with something else because it's always endless possibility. But yeah, I don't see myself leaving the choices in near future unless they do something pretty wacko.
I well, for me, I don't see myself uninstalling the app, because I really really love Endless Summer, and I want to read it over and over again.
Yeah, definitely. And who knows? Maybe there would be a book that would have some reference to Endless Summer in future. Who knows?
Yeah, and I hope they do.
Yeah, me too. Let's hope so.
Actually, at first, like the first time I made this fan account on Instagram, I felt like no one, choices fans does don't know Endless Summer that much, and then I was so surprised to see that a lot of people do know Endless Summer and love Endless Summer. So that brings me joy.
Yeah, that was a fun thing, definitely, that a lot of people liked it, and huge people liked it, because in old Endless Summer videos on YouTube, if you find out, you'll get 100 plus comments that you won't find in these days, or even videos from 2 years ago about choices. So that's something special. Like, there's a huge fan base for Endless Summer, definitely. I mean, even a lot of people haven't read it. New people coming in, like myself, and reading this book and falling in love with this. So yeah, just more people are gonna fall in love as they join choices. But one thing, when you come into choices these days, they don't recommend you book like this. They recommend you first a Royal Romance or the Nanny Affair. So that's what they recommend. So that's the one sad thing.
Yeah, and for sure, other players will try to browse all the books.
Yeah, yeah, but it would take them a longer time to get to those. Just that.
I agree.
Yeah. But in terms of the science fiction and the time lapse and all those things you said, the time travel, the dimension, and everything, it's just a great sci-fi too.
Yes. If there's like one, or if there's any genre that you want Pixelberry to write about, what would it be?
It would definitely be this kind of sci-fi time travel stuff thingy. Like Distant Shores, they did that. I liked it, but if it were in the opposite way, like we're in the modern time and pirates coming into modern time and something happening. Because I don't know if you know this show. There's this show, Dwight in Shining Armor. And I like this show. It was about a princess who gets awoken by this guy Dwight in the modern time, and then all the things happens. Her enemies also get awoken, and all the things they do in the modern time, that's always fun. So and also Endless Summer was like that. It was a modern time, and with those vantis there, it was really fun, showing them new stuff, and telling varying about New Year and stuff. I always enjoy this kind of stuff.
True, and I feel like the books that they're um, writing or publishing nowadays are like all romance, if not drama. And I think they should do more books about sci-fi or fantasy. It will be cool.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I agree with that. And some sports genre would be really awesome too. But the problem is, they did with the law. So far it's going good, but it's just a law drama, like medical drama. So it's good. It has its own mysteries and stuff there, like a detective series. But well, like time, like playing with time and what happened in Endless Summer. Those kind of things are like most attractive things. So I would like for them to do something like that again.
Yeah, and I love how they uh, did a book about with every heartbeat. It's
Yeah,
a very different story compared to other books that they made. It's really good though, even though the ending was sad.
I agree with that. The music specifically, that stood out to me the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Dakota Winchester and MC's relationship, and specifically Dakota's words. The he says it's just very good.
Yeah. And I feel like that kind of story is true to life. A lot of people are also experienced that in real life, and being able to um, read something like that, if ever a player can relate to that, it's just probably such a good or bad feeling for them, depends on how they take the story. But at the same time, it's really good to have a book that you play or read on choices that you can relate to.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, and this is like maybe what MC and Dakota went through completely. That's not like the moments they shared. Maybe it's not like anyone has normally. But yeah, the tragedy. That's really it's not like at least 5% of people may have gone through that because death is like inevitable, and even if with not your love interest, in one or another, people go through those experiences. Sometimes they're not able to sort of react or comprehend to that situation. So yeah, it's sort of something that you relate to also. It's a great book, yeah, and a hard thing, but a really true thing. It's a reality also. Like it happens a lot in reality. A lot of teenager, they suffered through some disease, and a queen had a one disease also. If it weren't for the supernatural powers, she would have died too. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And you get one scene in this with every heartbeat, like when Dakota's hair starts to fall, you get to shave. So did you choose to shave?
Yeah.
And I was glad to see that it was not a diamond option.
Yes, and it's really nice for Pixelberry to add that, so that, yeah, like what I said earlier, other viewers who can relate to that will also feel or will relate to the story.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That was that. Um, it was like some movies are also there. Like I think The Fault in Our Stars. So I felt like it was like that how it went.
Yes, and a lot of movies nowadays have the same concept or story, like Fault in Our Stars, Me Before You, 5 Feet Apart.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I felt like this movie. Sorry, this book was a combination of the 5 feet apart and Fault in Our Stars. In terms of Mateo and all the friends we make at the hospital, and how one of them dies. The little girl, I think Grace, she dies. So that was like 5 feet apart. And then with every heartbeat. I'm sorry, the Fault in Our Stars, the rest of the things with Dakota, MC, and the other one dying, and in that I think the female one was reading a letter from her love interest, but in this in our graduation we watch a video message that Dakota leaves for us.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, but all of them are sad. Like when you end, you really like it's really sad.
true. So
Yeah, and yeah,
going
go on.
going back to Endless Summer, um, I just want to know, like, what's your favorite book among the three?
Oh yeah, that's before I played book two, someone asked me, sorry, book three. I said, yeah, book two is favorite because it holds a key to both the book one and book two. But now, when you ask me after I completed book three, let's see. Mm, I would say book two still because I think book two is a pivotal, because book one we see Varian is a villain and all the Vantis, we don't know much about them, but we learn about that in book two. We bond with them well, and most of the secrets we find. So I think book two is kind of the key because book three doesn't have much chapters either. So it's just a follow up from there. I feel like of book two, like the ending is there basically in book three. That's for sure. That's the important part. But I think book two sets up the pace for book three, and also book two is where the climax really, like peaks that starts in book one. So I would say book two is the best book of the all three books because it's the best place to be in. What about you?
For me, now that you've mentioned it, I also kind of agree with you that book two is one of the better books among the rest, because everything about that book two is just so well balanced, like the action, the romance, the drama, and even the comedy scenes. But for me, it's really book three, though I just wish that they could have prolonged the ending.
Yeah, prolonged ending would have been all we would have wanted because that would have been it. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I also felt like book three was important in terms of the ending or what happened, the hand fasting ceremony and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, though the ending of book two is actually nice, like where our characters fall down from the helicopter, and then also Quinn goes just to save our friends, and Tara falling down as well.
Yeah. And the pirate rescues us and takes us to the endless. Exal was there.
Yeah, I just also hope that they could have maybe showed a backstory of Yvonne and Malatesta, or maybe how Yvonne got to the island, and also how Malatesta got to the island.
Yeah, yeah, that would have been super awesome. And yeah, I also liked the, Yvonne's brother story. Did you play that?
I did not yet, though. The next time I will be playing choices, I will be getting that diamond choice.
Yeah, yeah, that's emotional. I felt like that was really emotional. And that can give you some, clues about what you're talking about. So that I really liked that scene. I think it was in book three.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah, so whole book is full of a lot of emotional scenes. In other way, like a lot of deaths because 2,139 times. That's a whole lot of time. Like, also at the end, Endless also dies, like, and ascends to the sky.
Yeah, and props to the Endless for being so patient, trying to save our friends, everyone else, for 2,139 times.
Yeah, knowing that, believing that finally everything would be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was super. I think if we had gotten to know more about the Endless, like what had happened to his limbs and how everything turned out, or what he did, and if he's also part of the Vanu, then where he went also. So that would be really awesome to know, I guess.
Yeah. I have a question, but is it okay if I just go get some water first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure.
Hello.
Hey,
Okay. Okay. So, my question:
yeah,
what do you think would the reaction of your parents would be if they ever get a chance to see Jake again?
Mike, right?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, after the Lundgren thing happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that yeah, depending on what we see of Mike and Jake, like they were really close buddies with each other when they were in the Air Force, I think, and um, so and they had a special bond with each other, great friends, and always did everything with each other. And even Mike sacrificed himself to save all of us, and specifically for Jake too. And still till the end, all he wanted was that someone took care of Jake. So he sacrificed himself. So if he sees again Mike, that would be the big thing for both of them, because and Mike specifically would be so happy if I think to see Jake, and like to finally get back him. And Jake on the other hand, I don't know if Mike would remember that or not, but if he even remembers, definitely would be happy, like he'd be getting probably the third chance at that. And Jake, I don't know if he would be able to content his happiness, because you know we all know what Mike means to Jake and Jake means to Mike. Like, they're inseparable buddies. And I think also we should have known more about Mike and Jake. We get some scenes here and there, but just to have an idea, more like how Mike and Jake's bond was, and like to get some premium scene even where we can hang out with Mike and Jake separately. Just that would have been super awesome, because that's a great bond. I think great duo.
Yeah, I agree. Because, like what you said, like they were given a little amount of scenes together, and I really want to know how their friendship began and how they've grown close to each other, how Mike became so important to Jake,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
what Jake felt the moment he thought he lost Mike was he was like so down, and like he's given up with everything about his life and then about living. So it will be really cool to see or have an explanation about that.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. That was super awesome, I think. Yeah, like I say, there's always room for improvement, even in the best work. So these were some things. If they did some improvements to that, some more scenes, it would have been really heart touching, I guess.
Yeah. I hope some fans of Endless Summer would create an extra story about that. If ever Pixelberry would not do that, that would be really cool.
Yeah, like the It Lives project. If someone comes up with that, that'd be super awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of fans actually, those little um, dialogues or lines that you see about choices and other books on Tumblr.
Yeah, I mean, from choices, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that will be cool if people try to write something like that about some stories that needs more information about Endless Summer.
hmm Yeah, that would truly be awesome, and we need that, I guess. And even if it's done in the choices format, also,
Hmm.
that is super awesome.
I
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
um,
Go on.
I actually read a book on or like a fan made book on Wattpad about what happened after the ending of Endless Summer. I think it was Rourke's ending or something like that. Or I think they decided to I can't really remember, but a book on Wattpad. The writer decided to write a story of what happens after the ending of book three, and the writer haven't completed the book yet. I think she stopped writing, but she told me that she will continue, just waiting for the right time to continue writing again. But so far, what she wrote is really good, and if you have Wattpad, I suggest you try to read that. It's really good.
Wow, so that would be super awesome. Yeah, definitely. I mean, after completing Endless Summer, I'm now just anything about Endless Summer, I can just and an extended ending, like what happens. I'll be down for that. So thanks for the recommendation. I'll be definitely checking that out then.
Sure.
Yeah, that would be super awesome. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think the story of that book is, um, if I can remember, I've read it a long time ago. That the characters don't remember Taylor or our character. Only Taylor can remember what happened to in La Huerta and to their characters. So it's really nice. I hope she can. I hope the writer continue to write the book.
yeah, I think that's the roots ending.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, because I also felt like from that ending there is a possibility we can come back, rescue Varian, and teach Rourke a lesson.
Yeah, and if ever they went back to their old world, or maybe if they choose the path A or Rourke's ending, I hope that they make a alternate version of Varen, just in case the Vanties does don't exist. It will be really good for Diego.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be super awesome. And yeah, I mean, they can also make fantasy exist by something, like some time loop stuff or something. That'd be awesome then.
Yeah, and like imagine how Varen would feel if ever that happened.
Yeah. I mean, I also always felt heartbroken whenever I thought Diego returning to his, normal life and leaving Varen behind. That was heartbreaking.
Yeah. What about your take or your thoughts about Sean and Michelle's relationship?
Yeah, so when we find out finally that Sean completely misunderstood Michelle, because Michelle's friend in the I don't know, in the her cheerleader friends, I think they just completely misguided Sean, and then everything happened. So I think it was like Sean should have, like, as they were in the relationship, they should have he should have, like, done more, or in terms of believing his partner. I felt that, but I think also Michelle was kind of building the wall around her, and always acting negatively toward people. So I think they did. I think it was just they were not both mature enough at that point to carry on that. But with our main character, Sean finally learns a lot, and then same goes for Michelle. And even if you choose someone else to romance other than Sean, we see Michelle and Sean sort of Sean regretting what he did, and sort of asking for forgiveness to Michelle. Those ember of hopes, we see that in the hospital. Sean giving some flower bouquet to Michelle. So yeah, that was a good thing.
I just wish that if ever the players did not choose Sean as their love interest, I wish that Sean and Michelle would, somehow reconnect what they had. It will be,
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would really be awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, because and maybe to know more about their relationship, because we don't know much about, again, the time they were together, like what they did, how they were like together.
Yeah. How about your thoughts on uh the point where you tried to receive the endlessest memories?
Oh, like where we get to see the different endings, right? No,
Yeah.
different, what happened. Yeah, that was a interesting thing. Like there we see also in one part, like Estila with Zara and Jake with Yuvin, I think, for my case, and in that case, the person you choose to fall in love with. So in all those alternate, 2,139 times, in each time we see different things happening, different way people dying. Sometimes Estila being the villain and something happening, and someone else is being the villain, and but I think the true thing that happened, and a good thing, that the person we choose to be handfasted with always falls in love with our main character again and again, again and again, in all those 2,139 times. So that, I think, the message was, even the reality was changing, even the dimension was changing, time was changing, we're stuck in a loop that was changing, behaving differently, but our love for that particular character was like endless and beyond and above time, dimension, loop, and everything. So I liked that.
Yeah, I hope the part where Alice, I think it's Alistair and Michelle, they swap bodies, like, Freaky
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah,
I
yeah.
wish that they showed that on
Yeah,
story.
me too.
It will
Yeah,
be very funny and interesting.
yeah. I mean, the way, I think, what would have been interesting? This is a thought, but instead of Alistair Michelle, if it were Craig and Michelle, I mean, oh my God! I mean, the way Craig would have been, it would have been super awesome.
Yeah, especially, those two are like close, but at the same time they can, fight about petty things.
Yeah. I mean, Michelle wouldn't be happy about, Craig's, like, like here's this, big, gigantic fat body. And on the other hand, Craig would be like, wow, Michelle, look, like the way he jokes. I mean, and yeah, you're right. If they had shown that in the book, it would have been, gold.
But I read this trivia where another possible timeline where Craig and Michelle are lovers.
Together. Yeah, I have seen that too.
Yeah, so that would be really chaotic if ever that happened, despite
Yeah.
their personalities.
So I was like, I didn't know the reality is different. This things. I was like, whoa, 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 wait. What is? Whoa, what? Isn't he supposed to be with Zara? What is it in his? I thought, is it an edit? Then I was told, like, no, this is just that's how it is. Like, we see different endings. I was like, oh, well, all right, because I can't even imagine Craig with anyone other than Zara at this point.
Yeah. Zara and Craig are like very good together, and I just love their relationship and how their relationship is not based on just how much, like, you know they love each other or boyfriend and girlfriend. It's more about their friendship.
Player one, player two, like the game. So, yeah, so it's just awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, so overall, Endless Summer, it's a great experience. I'm really glad I found that book. Played through all the three books and what happened throughout the course of the book. It's just a whole experience, wholesome experience. All the characters, all the characters, they have something to add up to it. Even Malatesta, Yuvin, Keel, even, the Second World War veteran who was stuck there, even he has something to add. And I really liked how they were represented. I do wish we had more at the end, or maybe another sequel to this, because this was compared to other, spin-offs, a short spin-off, but it's still one of the best books and choices in terms of adventure.
Yes, it's point that they should be making more books like that.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, so that's it from my side. I mean, I don't have any more questions about it. So if you have, you can know anything in mind, any questions, anything. Go on.
Um, the my only like I'm really confused about the timelines in the summer, like where they go to this part it's night, and then the next, and then on this part it's like morning, and then how it's like been only 3 days for some of them, and then for them it's been 3 weeks. And the only thing that's confusing for me is, I think it's in book one, I know book three, um where they were sent to the time with the wedding. I forgot the name. I think it was Eugene, and I forgot the name of the girl. Um,
I forgot to. What was the name? I
uh,
forgot.
but that scene, it's kind of confusing for me. It's very different compared to the they were sent back in time. So was it confusing for you as well?
Yeah, wedding scene was confusing to me because they say, well, some vantage, because I think they say at some point this, oh, this lighting, it's before the World War I or something, or after, and then those vantage wedding, and that they said this wedding would alter Varian and their existence. So that, yes, if Varian's existence, I think it should have been longer before the world wars, and then so it was, yeah, they were modern also, and then how that wedding would affect something of past future. So yeah, that was all punched together for me. And yeah, the when in book three we finally regroup, and for Queen it was like 1 month or something, and then for us it was not. So I don't think they give a proper explanation as to why that happens. They just say it's because of, like, we experience different time zone, like you said. And I think in book one also we see, we when we leave the celestial, it's hot, and then it's cold, then it's sun rising, then it's sun setting. That's why.
Yeah, and I think character Taylor, Zara, and then Quinn falling off from the chopper. Zara's how Zara did after she fell was it was explained by her, and then when it comes to Quinn and how she got with um, Malatesta, I feel like it kind of lacked explanation on how she got there and how Malatesta find her.
Yeah, I agree with that. That did lack little explanations here and there. Yeah, I think book three was really short, 12 chapters. There should have been more. And also at that point, we thought Zara died. That was like, I was really sad, and Craig really cried. So that was a great moment.
Yes, it's one of my favorite scenes from book three when Craig how much he loves Zara. It's really a very emotional, romantic scene.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That was I thought, I knew in the back of my mind that these things are going on. At first, I thought, wait, Endless said we all would be alive. That's why Endless did all these things. So Zara can't just simply die, can she? Because if Zara doesn't live, then what's the point of Endless going through all the trouble? But then they also said 11 Ember of Hope, and then we are 12 Catalysts, because in the last one we also get you know uh, for our main character too, I think, an idol. So I was kind of confused about that. We finally see Zara alive, and I was like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, and, from all the um, what do you call that relationship, Craig and Zara's my favorite compared to Alistair and Grace or Michelle and Sean, even though they're not together, but somehow there's still something there between them.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Craig and Zara are my favorite. In the book one, I thought maybe Iris and Raj can become a thing, but then the story took a great turn.
Yeah. Who do you feel from all the characters or main character in the summer is the most misunderstood?
Um, the most misunderstood character.
Yeah.
I think it would be Alistair. I think Alistair. It has to be Alistair. I mean, he sometimes perceived the wrong way, and we kind of thought, but yeah, it was just he got manipulated. I think by his father. So and people got on the bad side, the bad side of people. But yeah, at the end, we all accept him, and but yeah, I thought maybe he was misunderstood till some point.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Also, I feel like um, Jake, he's also like misunderstood by
Mm. Yeah,
a lot of people, especially at first, and also
yeah,
Estelle.
yeah. It's still also yeah because they're like the tough guys, and they have some secrets because Jake, how he's running away from his family and everything because of something he never did, and same with Estila, her mom died, so they're like the same. And then on the other hand, Sean and Queen, they're like the same.
Yeah. Though, what do you feel or like your thoughts about the personality of our character or Taylor?
Mm. Yeah, so we come to know that about there being the Vanu at the end, and before that, I think our main character is just. It's a great personality we have. We always stand up for our friends and looking out for everyone. Being there for Diago when he didn't have anyone, and just being there for everyone, and getting everyone closer. Protecting everyone. You know, looking out for even the Vantis when they get attacked, or even when they banished us. So I think it's a great main character.
Yeah, I agree. And my last question,
Yeah.
from all the 12 characters or catalysts, who do you relate most to?
Good question. Good question. Okay. Let me just think about it. I would take it would take a moment. Okay. Um. Okay. So um. I think it gotta be Diago. No, wait a second. It's just Queen, Sean, no, Jake, no, Michelle, Craig, Zara, MC, Raj. Um, It's got to be Diago. Yeah, it's got to be Diago. It's Diago because I feel like how Diago, he was like think what he needed just like he felt like with the things he went through, and then finally he was searching for something more, and then how he just also he believed in friendship of just the main character and stayed to him, and just just always supporting and just bringing some funny stuff, movie name here and there, even in the face of danger, and just chill guys. It's got to be Diago and a combination of Raj, let's say. So that'd be for my. I relate to them the most, I guess. Yeah. What about you?
For me, I feel like a mixture of Jake and Alistair, because especially the people who are close to me, my family, they on the outside they see me as someone that I'm not. Like I'm this selfish or like conceited person, but deep inside I'm nothing like that. If ever, they see me like that, it's probably just, something that I can conceal. Like this that's not who I am. I'm a very forgiving person, and every personality that I have, they think of me like that in the opposite way. And so I feel like I'm also misunderstood by them or by a lot of or some people. And I just, but I accepted that um, fact that they see me as someone like this and not who I really am. It's just that it still saddens me to know that they think of me this way, but at the same time I accepted it, and I don't care about what they think of me anymore as long as I know I'm not a bad person, and I am misunderstood, and that's okay with me because I don't expect people to see the good in me, or like I don't want to live up to anyone's expectations. So yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand that. It's just sometimes, yeah, it's just like that, Yeah, same. I think with Diago it was something like that. He just kind of kept to himself a lot of times, but got a friend at the end of the day in terms of our main character that a lot of other characters did lately. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yes. Well, that's all of my questions.
Yeah, they were really nice questions, and I'm glad you asked. I really enjoyed because, like I said, you said it at first that we read choices and then we don't have much anyone to talk about it, pretty much. And I really brought those questions up, and I kind of had those questions the same way, but it just didn't form the questions. I'm glad you did, and it was really fun, interacting with you.
Yes, this is really fun, to be able to speak about Endless Summer or choices to someone that, who also shares the same interest as me when it comes to choices.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, because choices is really something, not everyone plays, near you. It's not like something that.
Yes, and I think for those people who don't play choices, they're missing out. It's actually great. A lot of great books, great stories, and it's not like those other apps where it's the same like choices, where you
Yeah,
also get to choose some words to say or something like that. It's really different, and it's nice in a way that um, it's not something that you easily stop reading or playing. You really get addicted to it.
yeah. I totally agree with that. The music also, it's just a total experience, and the background and everything, artwork. Yeah, it's just yeah, definitely. If we're not playing choices, they're missing out on a lot.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. All right, so that's it, I guess. And I think it's pretty late, and I hope that I didn't keep you up for long.
No,
It's got to be 11:30 plus there.
yeah, it's okay. I sleep late, so it's fine.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So, but anyway, thanks for coming and having the conversation about it. I really enjoyed talking about and loved this. The questions really made it more interactive. Just like you said, just sharing experience with someone who also played the book and had the same feeling about it, liked it. So it was just super awesome.
Yes, and also thank you for inviting me. I'm actually a shy person, especially when it comes to socializing, with people I don't know. So this has been out of my comfort zone, but at the same time, I feel really, so excited to be doing this. So thank you.
Oh yeah, I mean, if shy person does just let them hear this, like look, I so you were like way talkative,
Yes,
just
they always mistake me for that, like someone who's very conservative and shy, and someone who doesn't talk much. In reality, I do talk much and just really shy.
Yeah, I totally get that. You're not alone. Totally get that. Been there, done, gone through that. Yeah, like I said, just play this clip and make them listen. Like, look, that's me.
I actually told my friends about this, and then they're really excited. They want me to send the link if ever,
Wow.
it got posted. And then, yeah.
Oh yeah, so I'm going to be putting it up, by tonight my time, but I don't know how long that would be for you. But it's just here 9:03, so um, yeah, by 11 you can expect it my time. You can expect it to be. I'll be sharing the link with you, no problem.
Okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. So hope to see you again about some like endless summer. It was really nice talking to you. Hope to talk to you again sometime. It would be really fun to have you. I actually planned, asked you if you would like to do that, and then I was in book, and then I finished the book, and then when I finally completed it this week, I just said, okay, this is the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So have a good night. Thanks for coming again, and stay safe. I hope you're gonna have a nice week because it's almost Monday. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And you too, stay safe. And thank you all again for this opportunity.
Yeah, it's the pleasure is all for coming, and someone who shares a great passion and love for endless summer. Thanks for coming in here. And just before you go quickly, choices endless summer on Instagram. So about lots of posts, theories about endless summer and choices in general. You can go follow her Instagram. I'll be linking below, and you can get a lot of interesting posts about endless summer and some other choices stories too. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.